So as I was getting ready for university this morning, I was just reflecting on basically the whole life that my father's had. And he's had quite a rough childhood, but also quite a rough adulthood. So as a child, he was like, his parents weren't really around. He was basically brought up by his uncle and aunt. And if his uncle and aunt, it wasn't like a proper relationship there between them. And then even like through adulthood, he's had a lot of jobs, had a lot of good jobs, but also a lot of bad ones, and he's been an entrepreneur since around 2008. And as much as on the internet entrepreneurship is looked at as a good thing, and I still believe it is, it also has a lot of down points, getting paid late from your clients, a whole lot of problems there. And despite all of that, he has not once failed to bring me up in the best way possible. He's given me a lot of love, he's given me a lot of support, and he's provided financially when he could. And for me, that is the mark of a great man. And I've just been reflecting, and I want to now almost pay him back. I know for a fact he's not looking for any like payment back, and I actually spoke to him recently. He's basically always had this goal of traveling to India. So I'm thinking, let me start this YouTube channel and start some other things on the side to try and help on my father. I think in me sharing this video to you, on one hand, I'm giving you like a better view of what I'm trying to create here. But beyond that, I'm also giving you an idea of how you can help with those around you. It might be your father, but it might be your mother, it might be your friend, it might be your woman, it might be whoever. But think about ways you can help them out. So I often look at my dad. He's a very selfless man. He basically spends nothing on himself. Every now and then he buys himself like sweets and chocolates. He has a nice sweet tooth. But he doesn't really spend anything on himself. Basically all of his money goes to like paying our mortgage, paying for like car insurance, paying for my university fees. That's actually a big one. And I actually have such gratitude for all the things he has done. Oftentimes we don't actually sit down to realize the things that our parents have done for us. We just accept that, yeah, because they're our parents, they're going to provide for us. And yes, to some extent that might be true, because one day when we have children, we would also want to provide for them. But we also have to recognize that it isn't always this sort of relationship that like can be enjoyed. But also beyond that, we shouldn't take it for granted and rather think about how we can repay them back down the road, even if they're not looking for it. Most parents aren't looking to be repaid. But I'm looking at my father's instance in particular, and let's put it this way. I'm going to be making a video quite soon on like my mission ladder, and helping my father out is like one of the initial rungs on my ladder. Because frankly, he's done a lot for me, he's done a lot for my family, and I genuinely want to repay him. Now, how you can make this relevant for you? Grab a piece of paper, and whoever came to mind as I'm writing this video, or speaking out this video rather. It might be your father, might be someone else, doesn't matter. Whoever came to your mind, write down a few things they've done for you, and just feel the gratitude overflowing for you. So I hope I'm going to like give you a few things that came to my mind. He always was there for me like financially. I remember it was like grade 10 or so. I had this pair of sneakers that like broke. I used to play tennis, and the sneakers broke, and I had to buy a new pair. It was a matter of either that or play tennis barefoot, which is fine actually. But he insisted I get the new pair, and we had no money at the time. Like literally, we were struggling to make ends meet. But despite that, he went out and got me a really good pair of sneakers that, till this day, still fits me. So works perfectly, everything's in good order. And this goes back to around about 2018. It was a pair of Nikes for context. And if you live in South Africa, it costs like 2,000 bucks. And that probably equates to about $200, which is quite expensive for a pair of sneakers. So it just reflects on moments like that. Another one, like another thing that he often brings up, I don't remember at least, but I was 5 or 6, and I wanted this like fancy bubble gum. I forgot its name. But we had no money, and I really wanted it. So he went to the shop, bought it on like his last 100 rand. That's like the equivalent to like his last $5. And I just look at moments like that and genuinely have a lot of respect for him on one hand, but also plain gratitude. He really doesn't do much for himself, but I want to bring things to a point where either I'm doing stuff for him, or at least taking off the financial burden from him, so that he can start doing some stuff for himself. The thing with this though, I know I'm going in on like a lot of circles here. But your parent will probably never change if they are that way. So in other words, if they are someone who's selfless, they would still never spend their own money on themselves. Even if financial needs are taken care of, they would still be looking to you, your mother, your sister, whoever it is. So that's where you come in. You come in to say, okay, I have some extra money, let me pay it back to you. And like, don't give them money in the bank, but rather give them the experiences, like in my case, the trip to India. But if there's something else your parents are looking for, give that instead. But with that said, bro, I'll see you in the next one to become a better man.